Hi, welcome to the Dream Factory. My name is Nancy Cantor. I'm your hostess today. The Dream Factory community is an organization in the Metro West area, and what we do is we support women in taking on their life, their work, and their role. The people that I interview on the show are people that I think are a really good example of someone who has had an idea, maybe an entrepreneur, maybe some other kind of idea, but that they're really living their dreams and helping other people live theirs. Today I'm speaking with Stephanie Doherty. She is a hair salon owner in the Framingham area, and she is also going to be part of a panel that we have, a Women in Business panel for the Dream Factory Luncheon that's going to be on January 21st. So we're going to hear about her ideas of how she entered into entrepreneurship and the advantages and maybe even some of the disadvantages. So welcome, Stephanie.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay, good. So I want to, how I always start the show, because it is a Dream Factory, is you've been a member for several years.
Yes.
And just to give a little input, like how has this community supported you in living your dreams?
I have to say it was nice to be put in a room full of artistic women who are also business-minded. And, many of them have even come into my hair salon and have had their hair done. But I like the positive energy. They all go to build other people up. There isn't really any tearing down, or it's people being supportive of other people doing well or trying to do well.
Yes.
In their lives.
Awesome. So you felt a positive vibe from the other people in the community.
Yes.
People building you up, not tearing you down.
Right.
And also, too, some of them have become your clients.
Yes.
Awesome. I think that sounds like a winning situation.
Hey.
Hey. So what we're going to talk about today is, because you're going to be on this panel for Women in Business, you're one of our speakers, I wanted to hear a little bit about your business journey. And I know you've been in the hair industry, and you're also an artist. You've got many talents. But a little bit about your background and what brought you to the business that you're in today.
Well, I've been doing hair for 22 years now. So after about 16 or 17 years of working for other people and really putting in a lot of hours, I finally got to the point I had my clientele, I had the knowledge of how to take care of everything. I know how to do it all. The desk, the shampooing, the hair. I didn't even need to hire someone. Not to say that someday I might need to hire somebody someday. But I went in there not really needing to hire anybody. I could do it all on my own, which was good. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, if I'm doing a lot of this on my own anyway, why don't I just get a peaceful little shop that's me, and I can treat people the way I want to treat them.
Okay, so you wanted more independence.
Yes.
So my understanding is, in traditional salons, you buy a seat, you rent a seat.
In some you rent a seat, in others you get paid commission.
Okay.
In others hourly.
Okay. But then other people kind of come and go.
They come and go, yes.
Because other people might be renting or buying or getting a commission. Mm-hmm. So you never know really who you're going to be working with. And it sounds like sometimes that could be an issue.
It can be, because sometimes you'll get sometimes people who are happy in their lives don't want to hurt other people. But sometimes you'll get people who aren't happy, they don't have the clientele they want, etc. And then they can try to set you up to hurt you, right, to take your clients.
Right. And so
yes.
You don't want that kind of, you don't want to be in a situation where there's competition.
Yes, a little good when I was young, but a little beyond that now. My soul doesn't like that.
Okay.
I really like peace around me.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty logical.
Yes.
I like peace around me too.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
So that kind of was the impetus for you to saying, well, maybe I could have my own place.
Yes.
I know how to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it all. Why not do it for myself?
Exactly.
So you have this wonderful space, which I go to, on Worcester Road, right by B Sisters, and right across from Walgreens,
Yes.
right on Route 9.
Yes.
So you've got a wonderful location right across from the 99 or Staples or, what is it, Trader Joe's.
Yes.
Right on that little street. It's Main Street, but you're called Worcester Road, so they say you're on Route 9. So you've got an excellent location.
Thank you.
And I love your hair salon. Just like you said, it's peaceful.
Thank you. Thanks.
So you've really accomplished your intention.
Well, thank you. I guess we put a lot of ourselves into our salon, and when I was much younger, was working really hard, renting a studio apartment. I was working 6 days a week and just packing away as much money as I could. And I bought a modest condo, fixed it up, and then a couple years later sold it and made some money off of it. And the money was just sitting in the bank. So finally I thought, Steph, that money sitting in the bank isn't doing you any good. You're not enjoying it. So I I didn't make a huge amount off the place, but I made a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I opened up my business with $10,000. I had to have it repainted because there were holes in the walls. The walls were a horrible shade of pink. And then the linoleum had holes in it in the 3 main rooms. So I had to have new floors in the 3 main rooms and new paint. That was the base expense. Normally I would paint it myself, but these walls are high, they needed to be filled, and I needed to have it done. It would have taken me forever. So that was the main expense, $10,000. And then as the clients came in each month, I'd get something a little more for the salon, like curtains, etc. And then finally it was where I wanted it to be. But when I first went in there, I didn't spend a lot of money, not like some people do. I bought all my furniture used.
Okay.
I went to the salon stores that have used furniture. The chairs, I think I paid $60 for each of them. They're
Wow.
beautiful, they're in great shape. So again, I didn't spend a lot of money, and for the first year, I worked off a cart. And then when the holiday season hit, and I got a lot of tips, I took those tips and bought myself a nice station. So that's how I did it.
Well, it sounds like you have this way of getting something and improving it. Like that's what you did with your condo, and because you did that, you had money to invest in your salon. You
Yes.
also, in some ways, in terms of a business, you kind of did it on a shoestring.
Yes.
Like you only, you had the money, you only fixed the things that needed to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And as the money came in, you were very fortunate you had a clientele.
Yes.
And you brought that clientele with you because you had 18 years of doing hair. You had a great reputation. People kept coming to you. So you had your clients. You just moved to your own place.
Yes.
So you invested the money that you made from the condo just to improve your space for your business.
Right.
And then as the money came, as you worked with people, you invested it in the space and made it as you like.
Yes. Yes.
So you're a really great example of somebody moving into entrepreneurship, not necessarily having employees, but to create your own business.
Right.
And what do you think the advantage is to having your own business?
Well, I will tell you, the advantage is more personal. As far as what I make the same as I made working for someone else.
Okay.
Okay. But I can treat people the way I want to. I can have a peaceful environment for them. Those are all very important to me. And it's built a lot of confidence. There's some, now I have ideas of different things I want to take on outside of the salon to bring in income. And I have more confidence to do it because of everything I've been through.
Exactly. So you've learned a
So-
lot in the process.
Yes.
So say, we'll go back to the salon of, because I know you have tips for, there's additional tips you want to give people
Sure.
for what you've learned in managing the salon.
Right.
But I love this thing about going into business for yourself helps you to build your confidence.
Yes.
Because you have ups and downs, challenges here and there. And
Yes.
as you figure them out, which you have to do when you have your own business, and figure out who to go to and what kind of support people you need, it builds confidence. Like if you can create one thing, you can create other things.
Yes.
So say a little bit about, and how this kind of translates, because you have a certain skill set. Didn't you say you have a certain skill set?
Yes. It's more of an artistic, but also business.
Right. I mean, you're an interesting combination.
Yes.
You're absolutely beautiful. That's one thing which could always be helpful, I think, no matter what you do. And that you like to make other people and things beautiful.
Yes.
So, one way of expressing that is in your hair salon.
Right.
And my experience with you is the way you are with your customers is your total commitment to their beauty.
Yes.
That they have the hairstyle that looks good on them, or the color that looks good on them, or whatever different nuances that you can provide, you will do that.
That's what I do.
And you have an eye for that.
Thank you.
You consult, you tell people what you think, you try different things, you're very respectful, but you also have ideas that can be helpful given your artistic nature.
Yes.
So you really have fulfilled on that. That's an awesome thing. The other thing that I notice in your salon, in terms of doing additional things, and I know I've been the beneficiary of this, I do a silent auction every year, and you donated several of your paintings
Yes.
for the silent auction. But in your salon, you do paintings for your salon.
Yes, I do.
So it's a very creative environment where people can really appreciate the look and the artistic nature of where they are getting their hair done.
Yes, and that's what I want, just a nice, comfortable place that
Right.
people can come to.
Right, and it so reflects you. So you have your beautiful paintings, and I also know you sell your paintings.
I do.
So that's another revenue stream. So doing the salon, do you think that empowered you to start to sell your paintings?
I do the painting more for fun. It is difficult, really, to make any money off the painting because people nowadays aren't spending a lot of money on original art unless the artist is really famous. Even then, it seems like the arts have kind of been cut a little. But I still love to paint and do beautiful things to maybe speak what I'm feeling on the inside.
Great.
And if I can donate them to charities, that's awesome.
Right. And I think,
And-
I think it kind of fits with what you were saying about your salon. Like your salon reflects what you're feeling on the inside.
Yes.
And so having your paintings at the salon just makes it more beautiful for other people.
Thank you. Yes, no, it's a lot of fun.
And then I know you have some other ideas of what you might want to do in the future.
Yes, well, I always am kind of thinking about different ventures I want to take. I don't even know if I'm going to do this, but right now I'm kind of looking into homes that have gone into bankruptcy, fixing them up, and selling them,
Great.
and fixing them up nicely. And I would make sure everything about it is solid if I did that. But I'm still looking into that right now.
Okay.
But I do have the confidence to take something like this on. But I'm going to research it, learn a lot more about it.
Okay.
I have some great connections too with contractors and people who know a lot about this business.
Great.
So that's nice.
So here's another
And,
way that you can express your art in the world.
Yes,
It's almost like getting one of these homes could be a blank canvas for you.
it is.
Because I've seen your murals. I've gone to your home. I've seen the beautiful murals you can do.
Oh, thank you.
You really have a talent, and your home is gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. Murals and decorative painting
Yeah.
and painting. Yes.
Okay, so we're kind of talking a little bit about the future and how you can express your artistic nature in other ventures. So that owning the salon has built confidence in that. What are some of the tips that you would give people listening in about how to manage? You have a fairly simple business, like it's you,
Sure.
but you have a location, people come to your shop, and it's your livelihood.
Yes.
This is what you do to support yourself. So what would be some tips you would have? We've talked about a couple things before we started taping. What are some of those things that you would tell people about that have helped you in managing your business?
Sure. First of all, have experience in the business you're opening. First and foremost, anyone who has no experience in a business, good luck. Okay, have experience in the business you're opening. Depending on the business, have a clientele. But again, it depends on the business. Have customers kind of ready. You can always build on that
Okay.
through Groupon.
Okay.
Because you can number now how many Groupons go out.
Oh,
It
great.
used to be people would get overwhelmed and they would say, oh no, now my Groupons are taking away from all my... No, you can number them. And you can also, if you're a hairstylist, for example, different with different businesses, you can list, you must call first to make sure I have an availability for you. That way you don't get too many at once.
Okay, but that's
Yes.
one way to grow your business.
It
through
is,
Groupon.
and I've met wonderful people through Groupon, and if you do a beautiful job, they will stay with you.
Great,
A lot of them will anyway.
great.
Yes.
So that's been a good thing for your business.
Once a year. Yeah, once a
Okay.
year.
What else would you tell people?
Some people get really intimidated by taxes. Before I started a business, I know I was. Because you kind of think, well, what if, I end up, it seems much more frightening than it really is. And of course, business owners always want to scare their stylist, making them think it's more frightening than it is, because they don't want them to open their own salon, right?
Of course.
So anyway, I had the fear, oh my, what if I don't give the right amount of taxes, or what if, all kinds of things. What you do is you get a big binder. You get 12 dividers, label them January to December, put all of January's bank statements, credit card transactions, etc., right in January's. As clear as day, all of my checks are written out to places that have cosmetology items. The few places I go where I'm getting coffee, like maybe Walgreens, Trader Joe's, keep the receipts showing that you got coffee for your hair salon.
Okay.
And then as the business makes really good, as it starts bringing in a steady income, incorporate yourself. I get 2 paychecks a month that are just automatically taken out of my business account.
Okay.
The taxes are taken out of those paychecks. So I live off those paychecks. I don't go into my account.
Nice.
The company pays me, and I don't have anything to worry about really, as long as I don't go into that account. And so,
Mess with things.
right, you want to,
But that's a good way of separating you from your business.
yes.
That you actually are an entity that gets paid from your business.
Yes.
As
yes.
opposed to, I know some business owners have their business checkbook with them.
Yes.
So they can randomly use it for a variety of things.
Yes.
And it just doesn't separate things out in a way that is beneficial.
Use your business checks only for things related to your business, period. Use
Okay.
your personal checks for personal things. And a lot of my expenses I have automatically taken out of my account. That way, when it's busier than busy, during a busy season, holiday season, I don't have to worry about forgetting to write out a bill.
Okay. Great.
Yes.
So you automate a lot of things.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. So you've talked about taxes. I want to make sure we took a few notes.
Yes.
What about clients? What would you say are your tips about working with clients? Because, you did have you worked at other places, but you had your own clientele. Why do you think people come to you? What has you be unique? Like, what are your selling points that have people go to you? And what are your tips in terms of how do you treat your clients, or any ideas that people starting a business could glean from you in terms of treating clients in the right way?
I genuinely look at them and try to do the most beautiful job I can for each person. I look at their skin tone, and in my mind, I put together the colors that I feel would flatter this person the most. No hairstylist will ever make everybody happy, but if you can make 90 to 95% happy, you're doing a good job.
Okay.
Sometimes I can be wrong, I can miscommunicate. Sometimes the person can maybe have miscommunicated, or it wasn't the way they thought it would look, that sort of thing. But you should at least be able to make 90% of the people who come to you happy. And if you treat people with respect, the biggest thing is treating them with respect, not overcharging them, etc. Because some hairstylists will add on every penny they can. The client catches on to that. You need to have set prices And they need to be pretty across the board, because if they're not, people will find out. It's a small world. One client runs into another. Oh, really? She charges me such and such. Really?
Oh, so you mean consistent
Yes.
pricing for different things?
Very much so.
Yeah.
As consistent as possible.
Yeah.
Really, the key is just making the client know that you care about them and that you want to make them happy with their hair. Because what they come in, really, they come to you to be happy. I say to people, we're better than psychologists. We listen to your problems, and then we make you look beautiful.
That is true.
Right?
Is it true? Do you feel like people just talk to, do they tell you everything?
They do. Well, yeah, some more than others,
Okay.
but they tell you a lot.
Okay. And what do you do with that? I mean, not that you would
You
broadcast.
keep it in. No, you keep it
in.
in.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't ever repeat what one client tells me to anybody.
And I would say that's probably a pretty good rule of thumb is
Yes,
that
very important.
confidentiality. And maybe they appreciate that they come to a salon where more often than not, they're going to be the only person there when they're there.
Yes. Or there will be maybe one other person, but it's not going to be bombarded.
Right. Right. So it's kind of, you've set up a very peaceful environment, which is what you like. And that you
Yes.
would attract people who appreciate that.
Yes.
I mean, there's some places you go to and it's, there's a lot, and some people like that. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of energy.
And as I say, when you're young, there's not really anything wrong with that. I would say to a young professional starting out in my business, learn what you can, learn as much as you can, do every client as perfectly to your ability as you can. That kind of environment is fun to work in when you're young, but I think when you get to a certain stage in life, you kind of want to move to something a little more suited for you
Great.
because of all those years of hard work.
Mm-hmm. So you've earned this, I think.
Oh, thank you.
You've earned this.
Well, I've
You
worked
totally
hard.
have earned this.
Thank
So
you.
if you were going to say, I mean, it sounds to me like you're living your dream. Would you say?
I am.
Okay. And then, is there anything else you want to add that would support people in getting some access to how could they live their dream? What advice?
You know what? If you really want to open a business, do it. If you have some money in the bank, for an example, that money is just going to sit there. Why not enjoy it and see if it'll work? The worst thing that could happen is the business doesn't work. And what if it doesn't work? Then you can do something else. If you don't try, you don't know.
I think that's a good point.
And then if you don't have the money, you can always take out a loan. And it's true, you owe. Plan it well. I wouldn't recommend anyone get in more. Although I shouldn't give a price. It's up to each person what they want to get into. But I would say get into the least debt as you can, but give the highest quality of whatever it is you're producing. And if it starts to take off, then put more money into it.
Right, so you're saying
That's what I would say.
Not, don't get overwhelmed with debt.
Right.
To go into business.
Don't get overwhelmed with debt. Plan your debt well.
Plan your debt well, and then also
Strategically.
plan your expenditures well.
Yes.
Like there's certain things you have to get. I mean, if you're opening a hair salon, you do need chairs.
Yes.
But it doesn't have to be all fancy or, invest
Yes.
thousands of dollars.
No.
You can keep it pretty simple.
Right.
And then did you do a lot of advertising or did you have to?
I didn't do a lot of advertising. Now I have to say advertising on Google is a plus. I didn't think it really would make much of a difference. It has made quite a difference. Google really got my name out there, but I do think the Groupon, doing a Groupon every now and then, and again, putting a limit on them, because I had a client come and she said, I've heard a lot of good things about you going around my school. She's a teacher. Mm-hmm. And I was going to come in, but I wasn't sure. And then I saw your Groupon and I came. So I asked her, I said, now if that Groupon hadn't have been there, would you have still come in? She said, I'm not sure. That Groupon gave me the edge to come in. I'm not sure if I would have tried it or not.
Okay.
So
you
that kind of
played around
helped.
with different ways of attracting people.
Yes, because sometimes the first time people want a little bit of a price cut to see if they like you.
Okay.
And then once they know they like you, as long as your prices are competitive, they'll spend a little more.
Okay.
But I
Awesome.
also have a special.
What's your special?
Okay. The Groupon is 50% off your price. I charge $40 for a haircut. So they got it for $20 on Groupon. But I also have a price without a blow dry. I charge people $25 for a haircut.
Oh.
So I tell these women if their budget is within $20, that if they get the haircut without the blow dry, they get it for $25. Because there will be that small percentage of women who kind of feel like, I don't want to spend $40 for a haircut.
Okay.
And there you go, they get their nice haircut. And most of them don't care about the blow dry. They just want a nice haircut.
Exactly.
So that works well too.
But it sounds like you go out of your way to support people.
Yes.
You make it reasonable, you give them a high quality product in a beautiful environment, and that in doing your own business, you've built confidence in yourself, which allows for an expression of your artistic nature in other areas. So it just sounds like it's a win-win-win for you, for your clients, and for the world.
Thank you.
Because you're out there creating. I mean, your art is beautiful, and whether you pursue it as a hobby or if you pursue it as a business, I would bet if you got into flipping houses, your artwork could be a big part of it.
Oh, thank you.
In terms of making, because you know colors,
Yes.
and you know how to set up physical environments. So, I think there's big things in your future, bigger things. Not that what you're
you.
doing is not big, but
Yes.
bigger things in your future. And I think that kind of speaks to what we create here at the Dream Factory, is to open people up to what are their new dreams,
Right.
because there's always dreams fulfilled, but there's always dreams that are out there that it's really helpful to have some structure and structure in terms of programming, coaching, accountability, and having a community of support
Yes, there
behind
is.
you.
Yes.
And so I'm really glad that you've chosen the Dream Factory as your community of support, and I really appreciate everything that you offer to it in your beautiful skills and in your generosity.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's really been a pleasure speaking with you today. So I'm going to turn to the camera, and I'm going to thank Stephanie Doherty, who is from Stephanie's Salon right here in Framingham on Route 9, very close, right across the street from Walgreens and across from B Sisters. And I think she's a wonderful example of somebody who's living her dreams and also helping other people. And we want you to be thinking about what are your dreams, and if the Dream Factory community can help you in any way with that. We will be having a luncheon on January 21st at St. Zephyr's Church in Wayland. We would love to see you there. You'll get a chance to meet Stephanie in person, and our two other entrepreneurs, who's veterinarian Chris Vallis from Family Pet Hospital, and Shirley Warren from J. White's Automotive right in Route 9 in Framingham. So please visit us, because we're here and we are committed that you live your dreams. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.